Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this short presentation. We're here to look at a super platform that I just came across in April this year. It's the Aurum Foundation, quite an interesting project. Let me tell you, I don't work for this company. I don't get paid by this company to present. I'm not a consultant for this company. I'm just a third party, I suppose. I'm an educator. I've looked at the platform. I'm only going to give you my opinions on it. You're perfectly entitled to your own, do your own due diligence. I've done as much due diligence as I can, and I'll share that with you now. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any advice in that respect, of course. And I do think it's very prudent for everybody, no matter what business you're getting involved in, to maybe go and speak to a professional in that area. If you're getting involved in the restaurant business, go to speak to somebody who knows about restaurants and catering and how that works. If you're going to get into the hotel business, go and find somebody there. If you're getting into cryptocurrency, go and speak to somebody that's expert in that. Seek advice. Is always prudent to do that, so you can make an informed decision. Now, what I liked about this particular platform was this guy on the screen, Mr. Brian Benson. Brian Benson from California is the CEO and one of the co-founders of the Aurum Foundation. Brian left school, university in San Diego. He went straight into the banking industry, and he worked for Morgan Stanley. And I know many of you know Morgan Stanley, very big brand, particularly in the United States. And he was a trader over there as well and did very, very well. But then he flipped. Yeah, what do I mean flipped? He went from the fiat paper currency world of banking into the Web3 world of cryptocurrency. And of course, he worked for one of the big giants, none other than Binance. And he did so well there. He ranked up to the director for LATAM, Latin America. He opened up the Mexican market, the Brazilian market. These are big, big, huge markets. He opened Chile, Peru, Colombia, I think he said. In fact, I think he opened the whole continent. And his role at Binance was to do the compliance, the legals, set up the banking relationships from fiat to cryptocurrency, open the offices, onboard the. I mean, he had a big, big role over there. And in his time in Binance, became a unicorn. Binance was one of these companies that came from nothing to a hero. It came from, faster than Tesla, faster than Microsoft. Binance just hit the market. And I don't have a Binance account myself, but I'm told it's fabulous, it's sensational, it's very, very successful. However, I'm also told that if you were to drop a brand new customer into a Binance account right now for the first time, they wouldn't know what to do, what to click, where to go. Quite a complex site. It's fine for people in the crypto space, but for onboarding new customers, there's graphs and bar charts and spot trading and margin trading and this and that. And, it is quite a complex situation. So what Brian wants us to do, he's now left Binance, by the way, because he was only an employee over there. Here he's the CEO and he's a founder. So what he wants to do, he wants to open 2 exchanges. And he wants to open what's called a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange. And he obviously needs lots of customers to make that successful, but he's already done it with Binance. And he intends to do this by the end of the year. Certainly one or other of those 2 exchanges. It's in beta test or at the moment as they're ready to roll it out. So that's a little bit about Brian Benson. He's very, very a lot of experience in the industry. Probably the right man to steer this particular ship. And I was pleased to see that. Now, of course, I'd never heard of Brian Benson. I'm sure you didn't. So I went to Google, as you would, and I typed in BRY. So it's not BRI, it's BRYAN, Brian Benson, Binance. And I pressed images. Can you see where my mouse is? And up came, wow, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. And that's great news because he's not an actor. He's a real person. He is the Brian Benson. I think there are other Brian Bensons, but he is the Brian Benson from Binance. You can see him here, young photographs, older photographs. He has a head of hair. He's sometimes getting like me with no hair. He's got the Binance shirt on over here. I can see it again down here in the bottom. T-shirt, opening offices there, probably in South America. You can see him with the Aurum brand. This is the Brian Benson. So that was the first thing that attracted me to the platform, that we're dealing with an experienced expert in Web3, coming from finance. I thought that was number one for me. The second thing that impressed me was that Forbes, who I would call probably a reputable media firm, have written a very positive article, including Aurum, and it says that Aurum provides institutional grade trading. So Forbes is one of these companies that generate these rich lists, the top richest people in the United States, the top 100 richest people in the world, the richest people in Asia. They pull all this data on CEOs and companies, and they present it. They also do the Forbes magazine. Now, I don't know how popular magazines are these days, but in the Forbes magazines, they would illustrate the CEO of a company on the front cover and write about them. But to get positive reports from Forbes was the second thing that I said, wow, somebody's speaking positive, because on the internet, there's you always find this negative stuff, but to find something positive from a reputable, what I would call media company, I thought that was the second point that I thought was great. And then the third point is, if you can see me on the screen right now, I'm holding a piece of plastic. And the interesting thing about this piece of plastic, well, there's two interesting things. The first thing, my name's not on it. The second thing is Visa and Aurum have been co-branded on the same piece of plastic. Now, why is this interesting? How would you like to get paid every time one of your customers went shopping? How would you like to be paid when they pay their phone bill? How would you like to get paid when they pay their rent bill? How would you like to be paid when they buy their groceries? How would you like to get paid when they go to the ATM machine and withdraw money? How would you like to get paid when they go online shopping? Because this is a cryptocurrency USDT card that works in any fiat shop where Visa and MasterCard are accepted. This is incredible because, number one, there's no KYC required, so we don't need to know your name. We don't need your passport. We don't need your utility bill. What impressed me was not just how the card worked, that the issuer of a card, a Visa card, surely has done its due diligence on allowing and permitting Aurum to be the instigator, Aurum to be the issuer of these cards, to put them into circulation, to co-brand. So they obviously have done their due diligence on who this company is, their licenses, you need a certain, very few companies can get their name on a Visa card. You know that? So to have that, I felt, wow, these are three interesting things. Finance, Forbes, Visa, sounds good. What did I do? I did a little bit more digging, and I found out that Brian, the CEO, has actually written an article on Forbes. He also uses the Binance Zoom platform as well. He's very well known over at Binance. He knows all the directors in Binance. But he wrote this interesting article called Fix the Money with Technology, and You Can Fix the World. And what he's referring to is the present, I suppose, monetary system that we're familiar with, the fiat currency, is broken since 1971, when they severed the relationship between gold bullion and the printing of the dollar. In the old days, to print dollars into circulation, the Federal Reserve must have had gold in the vault equal in value to the dollars it printed. There was a relationship between the gold and the money. So it used to be money. Now the dollar is not called money. And now the euro is not money, and the pound is not money, and the naira is not money. And these are not monies anymore. And the reason they're not money is because they're currencies, because your money does not work in my country. My money does not work in your country because it's not money. It's a currency. And they print it and print it till it goes out of fashion. You know what happened with President Mugabe? Their country went into hyperinflation. Venezuela have done the same thing. They just printed and printed and printed off a press. And that's the problem. That's why we have economic cycles that destroy business, the inflation crisis. The last one, I suppose, was that 07-08 crisis, which was fairly hefty. It even put some of banks out of commission. A lot of the property guys got put out of commission. But Brian talks about the blockchain and AI solving that. The blockchain, of course, if we consider Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoins. There will never be 22 or 23. You can't print any more. So the blockchain is a very honest, transparent ledger that cannot be edited and changed. And it's a perfect piece of technology, blockchain. I'm very fond of it. But anyway, once I heard that he was writing on Forbes Council, I went, wow, this guy's cool. I need to go to meet him. And that's exactly what I did. That's me on the left, by the way. I popped over, met Brian and his wife, spent 3 days with them, was able in those 3 days to ask tons of questions. I was going to say 100 questions. I'm sure I maybe did, but I wanted to know, why did he leave Binance? And I wanted to know, what's he going to do here? But rather than me tell you that story, I want you to tell him. So there's been lots of interviews with Brian Benson, and I want you to listen to just this very, very short clip. I've taken a clip from a larger interview, and it's very interesting what he says. He's looking to build a unicorn company. Now, a unicorn company is one of these big companies, you know, the Microsoft, the Tesla. He wants to build the Binance. He wants to build a big brand. He wants to make 1,000 millionaires. He wants to create 1,000 millionaires. In Binance, they made many, many millionaires. Brian told me himself, when he worked with Binance, his salary, his wages were paid in the BNB token. It was 8 cents for a BNB, and he was getting paid thousands of dollars a month in BNB. He was getting lots of BNB. But of course, they were selling it for dollars to pay your bills and live, instead of holding the BNB, because the BNB is now gone to what's $700-800 at the moment. And what he's going to do with the Aurum exchange, he's going to create the Aurum token, and potentially the Aurum token will have that. It'll be used for the utility for transactions, for loans, for staking, for transactions, for swapping currencies inside the centralized and decentralized exchange. So there's a use case for that coming up. Now, of course, the exchange isn't ready right now. He's building this ecosystem, but it will be ready, I'm told, by the end of the year. In the meantime, he's plenty of products for us to enjoy, but let's have a listen to Brian Benson just for a few seconds.
I think if I have to sum it up in one word, it's ecosystem. At Aurum, we're building an ecosystem, and we're really trying to focus on getting this thing to a unicorn status. And what I like to say is we want to create 1,000 millionaires. And so if we can do that, then that will be $1 billion business. That will be a unicorn, and we'll be very excited if we can accomplish that. And we're well on our way to that. So
there you go. You heard it from the man himself. He wants to create a $1 billion business and create 1,000 millionaires. Now, whether you choose to be one of those, that's entirely up to you. But we know that there are many people already en route to those lofty heights of millionaire stardom with this project already. I do have a personal friend that has earned more than $500,000 in with this project already. A very trustworthy businessman from Dubai. He has his own Ferrari. He has 2 villas in the gated community. A very wealthy traditional businessman, has done very, very well with this project. It was actually he who shared this with me. Now, to get involved in the project, it's not free. So we cut out all the freebies, guys. It costs you just less than $20 for the entire year to use all of the products. And I think they have 7, 8, or 9 products right now. You can use all of those, except the card. The card is a different situation where you must order it and pay for it, but we'll cover that in the presentation. So getting rid of all the freebies, I said to Brian, Brian, why would you do that? I mean, why would you not let the people join for free? He says, well, the problem is when people incentivize people to join a business to make money, that in the Western world, particularly United States, wouldn't be deemed kosher. It wouldn't be deemed it would be naughty if you were getting paid for recruiting people into a business. So to keep that part of the compliance right, they said, when someone joins Aurum, nobody gets paid. So if I recruit you or you recruit me, I don't get paid. So there's no incentive for me to, if I'm not going to get paid. So they charge us $20 and nobody gets paid. That all goes with the company. They said Amway, who they designed this off Amway, because Amway was 70 years old. It's got track record for longevity. Amway charge, I think, is $35 for a membership, but you don't get any products. You have to then go and buy the products. Same here. You pay $19 and you can go and use the products if you want. He says, what would people pay for the gymnasium membership for the year? What would somebody pay for that? They use the rowing machine, they use the running machine, they go and use the steam room. Here it's $20 for the year. It's nothing. 4 cups of coffee, and you can use all of our products except the card. How bad is that? And then he said, if we onboard 1 million customers, which we intend to do, that's $20 million of revenue for the company to deal with server fees, to deal with product development, to deal with customer support, to deal. So we're not leaning on any other part of the business. So then I started to see this $20. Well, this is a great idea. If it keeps us kind of compliant in that respect, if it's going to support the company, I want to be involved with a company that wants to be around for a while. So I think this is a great idea. Now, that's the bad news out of the way. Let's talk about some good news. The number one product, certainly my favorite, is called the XAI bot, or EXAI bot, however you want to say that. It has over 2 years trading data. Up until June this year, it was trading just under $23 million. I can tell you it's doing $35 million at the moment. But up until June, it was doing about $23 million in trading volume, this particular one product. And it has achieved over 450% in those 2 years. And I felt this was quite good because, well, real estate, you probably get 100% in 10 years. If you think about the real estate business, a very good property in a good location with a good tenant in the right market conditions would probably make about a 10% yield a year, okay? And in 10 years, it would double. If you got gold, I was involved in the gold business for 12 years. If you bought a piece of gold, like let's call it a gram of gold, or 5-gram bar, or 10-gram bar, or an ounce, if you use ounces, or a kilo of gold, if you can afford that, it would take about 10 years for that gold to double. It would do about 10% a year. But this had done 450% in 2 years. It was exceptional. So I wanted to get a breakdown on the product. How are these numbers brought about? And myself and an ex-bank manager were privileged to meet the traders. We went online, we logged into the exchange. So they use exchanges that you'd be very familiar with. One of the questions was, well, have they liquidity and how does this work? Well, of course, they use Binance and they use OKX, which is an exchange. They use KuCoin, was the one they showed me, with over $10.5 million just in that one account trading. They showed us the deposits going in there. So the liquidity is held on the big exchanges that we're all familiar with. So we wanted to see the breakdown, and you can see if we go back to March last year, this particular bot was doing about 13% for the month, and it is cryptocurrency. It's not fiat currency. It's not forex. It's 7 days a week. Then in April it went up to 18%, dropped back to 11 in May, up to 15, down to 9. So I noticed this kind of pattern of up and downness. Even though those numbers are great, and the least be 9% in a month, but when I looked at the right-hand side of the screen, as you might do now, you'll see it was more what I call smooth, more consistent between 16, 18, 15, 16, 18, very, very consistent. So this was one of the questions I asked Brian. I said, well, when I look at your numbers here, I can see it's choppy, or it was choppy, now it's smooth. How does that happen? And his answer was very acceptable. He said, the technology we use, the AI we use is machine learning. I think that's how he described it to me, that it's not just a piece of tech that does its own thing. It learns and learns and learns on previous situations, on trades. And because it had only started, it didn't have any history to rely on. And the older it got, the more trades, the more situations it found itself in, the more it was able to learn. And he described that ChatGPT, he said something like it'd make like about 10,000 decisions in a second. And so here, with the AI, it's that smart. It can find out what was this trade this time last year, or when this market condition appeared, what happened when Bitcoin was this price. All of those processes, it can deliver very, very, very fast actions on the trades, faster than humans. And of course, he also said that these bots don't run without human support and intervention. They're overseen by either one or two traders whilst the trading is occurring. So even though the technology does most of the work, he says they get data feeds from every exchange. A lot of these exchanges would have their own news feeds, news channels. The bot takes all of that in. It takes in all of the traditional news channels from the US market, from the Chinese market, from the Russian market, from the European market. It takes all that data for market conditions. It also has its own risk management built in. And he described it very, very well for me. But anyway, that's a little bit about how this bot performs. They have about 7 or 8 different bots. I've only used 2 or 3 of them, and I'm happy to share them with you today. Now, whilst the company is getting 17.5 on average here, we, the client, don't get that. That's what they get. What we get is determined by the deposit we make to our own account. So this is called a neobank. There are lots of companies, even we just got notification today that our bank is creating a neobank. Our traditional fiat bank is creating a neobank. But this is like an online digital bank where you deposit. Let's say you deposited, as an example, $112. Okay. You would fall into the first category and you would enjoy benefits within around about 10% a month, which is quite good. If you were able to fund, say, $706, okay, you would fall into the second category. You're going to enjoy benefits for around 11%. If you could do, let's say, $3,109.26, you would fall into the optimal area. You're going to get about 13% a month. Or you could start with $10,000 or $10,001, and you would get 14 to 15% on average. Now, these fluctuate. This is, I must say that past performance is not indicative of future results, but these are the results that we get posted. It's posted on the website every day. It's posted on Telegram every day. So what you might have noticed in what I said there is there are no packages. There's no like $100 package, $300 package, $500 package. There's nothing like that. I described that to Brian Benson myself. I said, where do your packages start? He said, what's a package? I said, well, do you have like 100 or a 300 or a 500? How do you start this? He says, this is a bank account. You just put in what you want. Like, as long as it's more than $100, you can put in 111, 146, 300, 900, whatever. Whatever that deposit is, it finds its category. And then I said, well, what's the cap? Are you finished when it's 2x, 3x, 4x? He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, like, let's say you put in $100 and you get $300. Is it all over? Is it? He said, what are you talking about? I said, is there no cap on this? He says, no. Well, how would there be a cap? We've been running this for 2 years. We've been running it for venture capitalists, for high net worth individuals, for home family offices. He says, no, we're just now introducing a larger community. So at the beginning, they did not do what we're doing now. They only dealt with the high caliber clients. And the greatest respect, we're all high caliber clients. But what I mean is they did not use this referral affiliate program model. They chose this recently because as they're going to launch the exchange, they require lots and lots of users, lots and lots of customers. They need dispersity in the customer base that's not focused in South America or not focused in Asia. They want a dispersity around the globe, and that will all help token prices and exchange exposure and help everything. So with that said, I decided to try it, and I'm going to show you a couple of accounts here. Here's one account, and this is a $500 deposit account. You could put in 503 or 576 and 20 cents, whatever. And when you put in the $500, it's going to fall into the second category here. But I want you to notice that on the 17th of April, this account was created. 17th of April. Well, I don't know what date this is, but April, May, June, July, August. There's 4 months, and we're into September. Not quite 5 months, but let's call it 5 months generally here. You can see the account has achieved $349.72 profit. So this account started on the 17th of April with $500, is now showing $849. Now it says here received income is $356. Yes, but some of the trades haven't popped into this account, but the total profit is the total account is $849. So what I wanted to do was check out what kind of percentage is that? What kind of percentage is 349 over 500? It's quite easy to do. You take your profit, which is 349, you put it over your initial deposit, you multiply it by 100%, and you can see that it worked out at 69.8%. Let's call it 70%, because as I said, it's not 5 months yet. So 70% in 5 months is quite good. And by the way, guys, you can withdraw. They've different arrangements for different bots, but you can withdraw your profit every day if you wish. And the second thing, just to alert you, some people will say, well, what does it cost to withdraw? I've seen platforms that charge 6, 7, 8, 9%. Actually, I know a platform that charges 10% for withdrawals. These guys charge 1% plus $1. That's great. Absolutely very, very good. So 70% over, let's call it 5 months, works out at about 14% a month. So I want you to look here where it says 11%. The client was expecting 11% a month, but got 14. How so? account because this client chose to press the reinvest button. When you have an account, all your profit goes to your wallet to withdraw. It's up to you to know where this button is, the reinvest button, and engage it if you wish your daily profit to add to your principal. And therefore, automatically every day, until you turn it off, you can turn it off whenever you want. Let's say you need cash flow. Well, then just turn this off and your money goes to your wallet every day. If you don't need cash flow, turn it back on, let it compound. So the compounding effect of this account had gained just, let's call it 70%, guys. So there we go. That's just one small account. Now, let me show you a bigger account because I know there's lots of customers have the bigger accounts. Now, this account was commenced on the 10th of April, and this was a $10,000 account. But if you look at the red arrow on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll note that this was the 16th of May when this freeze frame was taken from this particular account. So we're looking from the 10th of April to the 16th of May. How long is that? I can tell you it's 1 day short of 5 weeks. And in 5 weeks, the $10,000 account was sitting at $12,360. It had gained 23% in 5 short weeks. You see, the higher the deposit, the greater the greater the percentage rewards that you're going to get. So the next time this account was looked at was the 24th of June. And that worked out from the 10th of April to the 24th of June. It was 10 weeks trading. And you can see the customer had achieved 55%. So the 10,000 is now up to $15,500, which is quite excellent. And then on the 7th of July, you can see here again, we're now looking at 3 months, 12 weeks. From the 10th of April to the 10th of July, we've got April, May, June, July, 3 months, 3 fours is 12 weeks. The account's up now at 17,470. So it had achieved, what's that? 74% in 12 weeks, which is exceptional. Now, that's better than the account we looked at. The account we looked at, the $500 account, had done 70% in 5 months. This account has done 74% in 3 months. Is that right? 12 weeks is 3 months. Why? Because it's a bigger amount and it's compounding as well. So not every account's the same. It depends on your balances and your deposits. It depends whether you reinvest or don't reinvest. That's entirely up to you. That's your decision. It's your account. The company will not turn on that button. You must go in and engage that if you want to compound. I call it the 12-month success plan. You can't make money in a week or a day, or, anything like real estate takes 10 years to make money. Gold takes 10 years to get any substantial investment from it. Even your pension plan, your 401k or whatever your pension plan is, it takes 40 years of our life funding a plan to get a retirement. Here I call this a 12-month short success plan. 12 months goes by like that, guys. And of course, if you need your principal, you can take out your profit every day, but if you need your principal, you can take it out on the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th of any month if you require your principal. But that would be an emergency for, let's say there was a medical emergency in the home, or a financial, if you needed to grab your principal. Otherwise, there's a small early retirement fee if you want it out inside 12 months. After 12 months, principal and profit is free. We have another account that doesn't work like this, but this is the best one. And I just want to show you, the last screen grab was done on the 10th of August. You can see from the 10th of April to 10th of August is now 4 months. The account has doubled. It's done 103%. The $10,000 is now sitting at $20,000, double your money. So that's quite incredible. And I invite you all to be here on Wednesday, because on Wednesday, it's going to be the 10th of September. And on the 10th of September, this account will be 20 weeks old, and be very interesting to see how it goes then. And many of you on this call have followed this journey from this first screenshot, and you've enjoyed this account grow. Albeit you probably wish it was your account, and maybe some of you have accounts bigger than this, but there you go. Now, let's see what else we can do. Yes. We call this the EXI bot. It's the flagship product. The whole affiliate program is based on the sales created inside this product. But they do have other bots operating as well. And these other bots are called the EXI Pro. It's a bit like a sister product to this. This one functions on Telegram. Telegram is a decentralized communication platform. I'm not a big fan of it. Sorry, I'm a big fan of the bot, but I'm not a big fan of Telegram. It has its advantages over WhatsApp, but I find WhatsApp very simple for me. Telegram, I have to think about going there. That's the only thing I don't like. But anyway, on Telegram, over there, it's decentralized. Again, you can find this bot on Telegram. You just search for it, and you can deposit over there. But the rule is you cannot put into Telegram any more than what you have already on this platform. Let's say you had $300 in EXI bot as an example, and next week you wanted to try this other bot on Telegram. When you go to Telegram, you can't put any more than 300 in. You can put less, but you can't put any more. You couldn't put 500 in this one and 300 in that. You must, it caps at what the left-hand side is done, the right-hand side is capped at that. Now that's the EXI Pro. We have another bot called the Zeus bot, and I like this one as well. This trades Bitcoin, and this is actually how I came across this. The friend I was telling you about was putting Bitcoin in here since last October, and I was getting Bitcoin myself, and he said, "What do you do with your Bitcoin?" I said, "Well, nothing really. I just kind of just sits there, goes up and down with the market." He says, "I can get your Bitcoin to grow." I said, "Grow? What do you mean grow?" He says, "Listen, I have a bot here on Telegram. Just put it in, and if you need your Bitcoin out, take it out." So over here in ZeusBot, you can put it in for a day and take it out. Profit in principle. So I tried a bit of Bitcoin. I didn't try BNB, Ethereum, Pepe, or Dodge, but funny enough, I started to get paid this thing called Pepe. And this Pepe kept coming into my account. What's Pepe? I'd never heard of Pepe before. And I asked a few friends. They said it's a meme token. It's very popular. Anyway, I was receiving this Pepe, and the reason I was receiving it was because one of my customers had put Pepe into this bot, and he was trading it, and I was getting a reward. I was getting a bonus, and that's where it was coming from. And that's got quite significant. I've got 1,350 million Pepe. Somebody's going to write that down. 1,350,000,000 Pepe, and I never put any Pepe into the system itself. So that's, I mean, it's over $10,000. But so here's an interesting fact, guys. If you don't have Bitcoin or Ethereum or Dodge or any of these things, but you build a business with us, and some of your customers decide to use this one, you can get paid. You can qualify by hitting the first rank in our affiliate program to get paid a matching bonus on the trading profits of your clients, of your customers. So this is quite interesting. So I want to show you this neobank. So neobank, neo means new. You've probably noticed all the banks in the high street are closing down. They're trying to get us online. They're doing their best to get us online. But if you go to Telegram and you search for Aurum Neobank and you open the app, okay, you log in with the same credentials you have for your main platform. So you just log in with those same credentials, and inside this bot, you can hit the down arrow here, and you've got a number of wallets. You have to download a Polygon wallet. I don't know why, but maybe the blockchain or maybe the Aurum token is going to be launched on Polygon. I'm not sure, but that's the first thing you have to do. So you've got a Polygon wallet. The Bitcoin wallet will be there for you. Your own Ethereum wallet will be there. Your Dodge, your PEP, all of these wallets will be in here for you. About 6 or 7 wallets you can use. You can also order your Visa card here as well on Telegram. And again, we don't need passports, utility bills, and this is really good. No KYC, $100,000 a month you can put onto it. If you need more than that, then you must KYC. Off the bottom of the app, you've got a home button. This is where you order the card. You can see the shortcut to the card. This would be a referral link, and then this takes you a shortcut to the bots. I kind of do a lot of training inside my Zoom presentations, maybe overdo it a little bit, but I like to describe where to go so that people after the presentation kind of can remember, oh, yes, you go there, you do this. Yeah. It's a little bit of help for you guys. But I want to show you this Bitcoin trading bot. It's been quite exceptional. Now, this bot was started on the 31st of May. The 31st of May. The deposit to the bot was 0.7 Bitcoin. 0.7 of 1 Bitcoin. Quite a big deposit, about $70,000, $80,000. When the account was logged into after a day or two, it was noticed to go to 0.1, 71, 72, 73, 74, 79, 8, 8.1. And at that point, a screenshot was taken. We need to show people how this works. So you can see the bot tells you everything. It tells you the trading period was for 14 hours and 59 minutes. It made 0.55 point blah, blah, blah. The trading balance was 0.81. So you stop you withdraw your profit, you stop the bot, and then the profit and the principal go together, and you can ask the bot to trade again, or you can take it out. In the Litecoin USDT bot, you can send the profit to the card. So any profits you can send to the card, or you can take the money out to any wallet of your choice, online or offline, centralized or decentralized. But we're talking about Bitcoin right now. So it's gone from 0.7 to 0.81, and then it jumped up to 8.2. You can see here 0.82. Then it went up. Now there's in 13 hours, this bot had made 0.01. I don't know how much that is, but that's what it made. At the end of the day, you withdraw your profit, you stop the bot, so it all goes to your wallet. You decide either to take it out or ask it to go to work tomorrow again. So you have to compound this one manually, whereas the EXI bot is much simpler. You just hit the reinvest button, it does everything automatic. This one is a little bit of work if you want to compound. If you don't want to compound, it's totally fine. And you can withdraw all of your currencies from these with no penalties. There is a withdrawal fee of 1% plus $1. Now, it then went up to 0.84, 0.85, 0.86, 7, 0.88. And many of you were on this call last week. I think it was around 0.88. It's now gone 0.89, 0.991. There's where it ends. So it's gone from 0.7 to 0.91. Now, I don't know how much that is, but it's about $25,000 with no customers, with no network, with no Zoom. That's money working for you instead of you working for your money. So you saw the XI bot went from 10,000 to 20,000. You saw 0.7 Bitcoin going from 0.7 to 0.91. And you can follow this journey as we do this 4 times a week. As this account grows, we're going to take it up to 1 full Bitcoin. Okay, we're going to show you how to take 0.7. Now, of course, if you don't have 0.7, you can do 0.0007. I think the minimum deposit is 0.0008. About $100 worth of Bitcoin is the least you can put into this particular bot. Okay, and there's 6 or 7 of these. There's Bitcoin, there's Binance, there's Ethereum, there's Pepe. There's one not traded here called Dogecoin, and then you've got your Litecoin USDT. Here's a customer put in a Bitcoin, a full Bitcoin. This customer, interesting customer, he works at government level, ministerial level, and the transport section. And after a call with Mr. Brian Benson, this customer decided to put in a full Bitcoin. That other account only started with 0.7, but here's a customer put in 1 full Bitcoin. Another customer who I know personally put in 2.75 Bitcoin. I'm not showing you this to try and entice you. I'm just showing you this to show you that small customers, big customers, the big boys are playing here too. And it seems to be the people with money make money all the time, but anybody can have success here. This account has grown obviously since 2.75. But I know this person. This is an ex-bank manager. I think some of you on this call know who I'm talking about. He was bank manager for Trustee Savings Bank for 17 years. And now he's retired. He's left the bank, and he's done exceptionally well here. Look up here. See the Ethereum? He's trading Ethereum for 26 days. I think he had 34 Ethereum deposited and 2.75 Bitcoin. And the same guy deposited 9,000 million Pepe. 9,000 million Pepe. I think it's about $100,000 of Pepe. So big boys are playing here too, as well as the little guys. Anyway, it's for everyone. It's not just about the big guys. But it shows you those big guys who know the game, who have money, who are very, very confident with the platform. Let's talk about the card and we'll finish up. The card is exceptional. I've already said $100,000 limit, no KYC, loading fees of 2.2%, which is exceptional. But that 2.2% stays with us. It stays with the community. It does not go to Visa. It does not go to Aurum. That 2.2% loading fee comes to the network.
Aurum Neobank is a next-generation financial ecosystem with a fully integrated cycle. Top up your balance, earn through the trading bot, spend with your card, and restart the loop. Choose from 4 card tiers: Nova, Imperium, World Elite, and Infinity. Each unlocks access to cryptocurrency payments, low fees, and premium rewards. No verification required. Minimal fees. Physical card included. Higher transaction limits. Take control of your finances and grow your wealth with Aurum Neobank.
Got 4,000 applications in their first week for this card. Lots of people are using it. It's been used all over the world. It's been tested in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Ireland, UK, Greece, Italy, Germany. I mean, why wouldn't it? Visa, MasterCard, it works wherever they work. So people are very, very excited about it. The cards are going to start at $33 with no monthly fee. So everybody can grab one, but these are virtual cards. So you just put them onto your Google Pay or your Apple Pay, and you know how that works. I don't know how to do that. I prefer the physical guy. So I went for the premium card. I went for the Aurum Infinity card. It cost $249. But why did I go for that one? Well, because I wanted the physical card. But you see, it's got the best rates. It's got the best transaction fees. It's got the best commissions. It's got the highest limits. So, you know, if you like the best car and the best house and the best card, that's why I go for it. And if you were on our training last night, you'll have seen how you can build a business with this card. People shopping, you getting paid. Imagine that. Imagine you being the banker. Imagine you putting this in the hands of the people. You can actually import cryptocurrency from any platform to your Aurum account and send it straight onto the card and go spend. You don't even have to trade. You just use the card. So it's an incredible platform. The trading is just one part of it, and there's more to come. They're also getting involved in RWA, real world assets, where you'll be able to buy hotels and property for small deposits, $50, $100, $500. You can get. They're going to fractionalize a property. Can you imagine a property instead of having one owner or two owners or 10 owners, that you can fractionalize it into square feet or square meters, and people can buy a part of it, and then the income rent roll or the appreciation on a sale is divided by the ownership, which is fractionalized ownership on the blockchain. This company is about to launch that as well as many other things. So we see exciting things with this. You get paid depending on your rank on every card that's ordered and on the spending of these cards. You get the difference between your rank and somebody else. We cover that on training. What I would like to do is show you the card working. Now, John's on the call. John, thanks for joining us. As you notice, John, his name's not on the card. Why? Because there's no KYC. But this is the second transaction John did. John was fortunate to be the first person in the UK to get his hands on one of these. He was sent to the shop to get some milk. Here we go.
Here we go then. Second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
Spending USDT in a convenience store. Isn't that amazing? Here's a withdrawal from the ATM machine. Have a look at this, guys. Okay, in goes the Aurum card. Balance. Okay, so there's 5,720 on the thing. Let's do a transaction. Let's take out cash and receipt. Let's do that other. Maximum 800. And correct. So the fee is $3.99. Accept and proceed. £20 notes. What I've noticed in our part of the world where we live is that these machines tend to have a limit, like it's generally like £250. In Europe, that might be 300 or 400. In America, it might be $500 limit on these machines. So I wasn't expecting it to allow an £800 withdrawal, $1,000 withdrawal. So card went in, we ordered 800. And the reason the limit is on 800 is you can't squeeze out any more than 40 of these bills because it was hard to grab that out. But the interesting thing is, if you present the card again at the same machine, like a standard bank card, you have to come back tomorrow. The limit is daily. Here, you can represent the card and keep withdrawing. So if you make profit on the bot, you can stop the bot, send the money to the card if you need to spend the money or you need cash, or you can withdraw the money to things. So the problem in the industry of crypto is people don't know how to convert their fiat currency into crypto. That's the first challenge. Well, the exchange is going to solve that. You'll be able to bank wire from your traditional bank into the Aurum exchange. Inside there, you can convert, swap to USDT or any currency. You can trade in there. You can do this, that, and the other. So the onboarding is the big problem. That's coming up soon. The second problem people have is the off-ramping. It's called off-ramp. How do I spend my crypto? How do I convert it? Where do you change Bitcoin to get money? How does it work? Well, we've got the solution here as well. It's already in play, already working. This is quite exciting. So that's our presentation over tonight. We've taken, I don't know what, 40 minutes of your evening, of your day. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do get back to the person that shared this link with you. Get your very valid questions answered. Do your own due diligence. Check it out. If you like what you hear, try it for $100. Try it tonight. Because if you get your account started tonight, you get your first profits tomorrow. If you're going to think about it overnight, you probably won't do it at all, and then you're going to delay your profit to the next day. So that's up to you. For those of you who'd like to sit on, I would like to share with you the partner program. This is an affiliate program, just like Apple. Apple have an affiliate program. Go to the bottom of their website, click affiliate program. If you promote Apple products to your friends, family, neighbors, colleagues, strangers, Apple give you rewards. I think it's Santander Bank do the same. Santander said, if you bring a customer from Barclays or a different bank to our branch and you recommend them, we'll put 100 in your account for free. But the incoming customer that you bring us, we put 100 in there. It's like an affiliate reward program. Aurum have adopted the same idea. So here's how it works for those who'd like to see how this works. It doesn't cost anything. It's totally free. You have an affiliate link, whether you decide to use it or not. There's no obligation to share this with anyone. You can just enjoy the products. If you decide to share it with someone, you, as long as you've got $100 trading yourself, you get a 3% bonus on the deposits, which is quite nice. Now, I said, well, why do you have to have an account yourself? He said, well, who could recommend a product that they haven't used? You see, if you put $100 and you don't like the product, you're not going to tell anybody, are you? If you do like it, you do get the benefit, then you're likely to tell more people. Brian Benson said there's no better person to promote a product or a service than an existing happy customer. So try it for $100. That's you qualified, and you get 3% of all deposit of all your customers. If you have one customer, 9, 4, 20, doesn't matter. Okay. Now, of course, who wants more than 3%? Hands up. Everybody likes a pay rise, but it's not Aurum that gives you the pay rise. It's not your boss that gives you the pay rise. You take the pay rise the day you want it. So if you want a pay rise, all you need to do to go to the Voyager position is you need $7,500 of total trading volume from not just your customers, but theirs and theirs and theirs and theirs to infinity levels, your whole team structure, just $7,500 in the EXI bot, that first product I showed you. Now, guys, that could be one customer. Remember we showed you a $10,000 account at the beginning? Imagine that was your customer. Well, that's more than 7.5. So your Voyager, now you get 5% on the deposits. Look, you don't need to have any more in the system yourself. $100 is enough. But look, you get your $100 back. How bad's that? Out of risk, 100 in, 100 out, cash bonus for reaching the rank. What could you do with this $100? Put it on your card, go spend it. What else could you do? Add it to your bot and have 200 trading. What else could you do? Withdraw to any wallet of your choice. But look over here on the right-hand side. Now you get a 5% matching bonus every day on the profit of all your customers trading. And this is where I was getting the Peppy, you see. I was receiving Peppy. I didn't put Peppy in. Why am I getting Peppy? Because I was getting a 5% daily matching bonus. on all of the customers in my team that were trading the Pepe. They had Pepe. They knew what it was. But the same with Bitcoin. Even if you don't have any Bitcoin, you can start making Bitcoin here. Ethereum, BNB. But you have to have USDT in the first spot. So, of course, if you want to go higher than Voyager, why not go Vanguard to get 7%? Total team sales, $25,000. You get a $500 bonus. Then you get 1,000 bonus, 2,000 bonus, 5,000 bonus, 10,000 bonus. And guys, it doesn't stop there. There are 15 ranks in the compensation plan. 15 ranks. It just gets better, you know. In fact, if you can make your way to Dominion, you're a millionaire. What did Brian Benson say at the start of my presentation? He wants to create 1,000 millionaires. If you work your way to Dominion, in fact, I think you'll be a millionaire long before. Between Legend and Dominion, you're going to be a millionaire. You get a $500,000 bonus for going Dominion. There are 2 people on this Zoom with you right now who've already hit, actually there are 3 people, who have already hit Magnet in 4.5 months. In 4.5 months, they've already hit this rank. They've only got 1, 2, 3 to go. They get $500,000 bonus, 150,000. There's 650, 750, 800,000, 820,000 bonus, plus that first page, plus these commissions on deposits, plus these matching bonuses. 25% matching bonus on your customers' daily profits, plus the shareholder bonus. We cover more of that at training. I'm just telling you, this is a serious platform for serious people, and it's entirely up to you to do your own homework. Just to show you that the withdrawals are working, people want to know about that part of the program. You can see here on the 19th of April, 0.1 and a fraction more Bitcoin was drawn. You can see that 8 days later, on the 27th of April, $500 bonus was withdrawn. A whole month later, 27th of May, 27th of April, 27th of May, $5,000 withdrawal. 2 days later, $4,500. 18 days later, $10,000 withdrawal. There's the 10,000. Let's go up here to the 4th of July, 3,500 withdrawal. 20,000 withdrawal on the 7th. And look what the customer received. Out of the $20,000, the customer received $19,799 to their trust wallet. 1% plus $1. Other companies would take $2,000 off you to convert or to do. You can also, you don't have to take it out to a wallet like Trust Wallet. You can pop it on your card, 100,000 limit. Now you understand why some people need $100,000 limits. Okay, then there was 4,000 taken out on the 15th of July. The next day there was 2,500, 16,000 up there. The customer received 15,839. $160 was 1% plus $1. Incredible. Then they took out $30,000 on the 12th of August. On the 14th of August, 6,500. On the 19th, they took out 4,500. Another 10,000. It's incredible. Incredible. You roll your sleeves up, go to work. Anyway, that's the presentation over. I've taken 50 minutes, 55 minutes of your night, 55 minutes of your day. I hope you found something interesting. I hope you found something that certainly poses the question that you might like to try this. Get back to the person that shared you the link to this information. Get your valid questions answered. Get an account started tonight. Don't think about it. I'd like to see what profit you're going to get tomorrow. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you all again. Same link, same time tomorrow. If you'd like to invite and guests, they're more than welcome. We do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're very welcome to come and see it again. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your evening. Good night. Bye-bye.